Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes as we're watching the snows winding down. If they haven't already in your area, they will do so shortly. And everything pretty much behaved according to what was advertised here. This was 1 to 2 inch snowfall at most, maybe a few pockets of 3 inches. Looks like Long Island, particularly Suffolk County, was the bigger winner during this morning in some places. But everywhere else, it kind of behaved according to plan. The intensity always drives accumulation. If you get the intensity, it'll stick to all surfaces, which is kind of what happened for much of Long Island. But you go to New York City and points to the west and points to the northwest, where there wasn't a whole lot of intensity there. You really didn't see very much. And now, of course, the back edge of this is now moving away to the east. Looks like there's one last burst to get through, and then after that, weather conditions will improve rather nicely, and it is going to be cold. So what's on the ground is going to freeze up. We're in the low 30s and even some upper 20s, so certainly the cold air as of 8 o'clock this morning did definitely come in. Winds have turned to the north, driving all of that colder air down as we see temperatures down near the 30-degree mark, even along coastal areas. It does overwhelm this time of year when you get these types of weather systems. You wind up pushing the envelope a little bit colder. And again, if you get that snow intensity, that gives you an extra couple of degrees lower than what you would otherwise expect. In the meantime, tomorrow morning when you wake up, Thursday morning lows will be in the teens to low 20s. So anything that's doesn't evaporate today will likely freeze up, although I would suspect that much of what melts today will wind up evaporating and disappearing and drying out. So I don't think it's going to be too bad of a problem, but there might be some icy spots here and there with temperatures forecast to drop down as low as they are. In the meantime, we are seeing our front offshore, and it's just really not doing much of anything. There's just a little flat wave on it. You can barely find it. High pressure builds in, cold air comes in, and guess what? Just as quickly as that cold air comes in, it's going to be moving out. We are seeing on the satellite loop this morning the moisture field coming from the Gulf of Mexico running northeastward, and gradually as we went through the overnight hours, you can see that western edge of the cloud shield shifting further and further to the east. Just give it a quick refresh here. At least we could get past sunrise. There you go, a few frames there. So it won't be too much longer as weather conditions improve. There's another disturbance is swinging across the Great Lakes that's kind of pushing this eastern system along. And meanwhile, it's getting busy again out in the west, where we've got a system coming in off the west coast. And that is going to set in motion a series of events as we move on through the next few days and head into the weekend. So our weather system moves on out, and you see the storm that's in the northwest. Cold high pressure builds into the east, and just as quickly as it builds in, it pulls out. We have no blocking at all, not even a minimal amount of blocking. The pattern is about as progressive west to east as you can get. So the cold high moves out Thursday night and early Friday. So the next system that develops in the Gulf of Mexico and the Northeast Gulf is going to shoot right up the east side of the Appalachians. You can see it here. The GFS has a low east of the Virginia coast. But there's no cold air anywhere. So this is just going to be a windswept soaking rain Friday night into Saturday morning. And there still probably will be some lingering showers Saturday night until the low finally pulls away to the northeast. And then will dry out on Sunday, the second half of the weekend being better than the first. Now, next week is kind of interesting. We do have a low that's going to be coming out from the southwest. You see it there in Missouri on Monday, and the GFS wants to run it up near Lake Huron with a primary going to our west. But the other models are a little bit different. And one of the things that I've noticed here on today's longer range, and there is a long-range post that I've already written up on for Patreon members on my subscription platform. But the models all seem to be at least trying to show some semblance of a low at 50 degrees north and 50 degrees west. And while it's not a blocky a purely blocky look. It actually is somewhat blocky. The European here, as we move through the end of the week and going into the weekend, is going to start to develop this 50-50 low. That's that system that moves up the coast and then strengthens as it moves into eastern Canada. So if that low holds there, as some models are indicating, this next system for early next week may not necessarily track to our west. It may try to go in that direction, but we could see something attempt to redevelop to the east. And I think there may be a couple of more snow chances along the way as we go through the rest of December, and certainly as we approach Christmas. So White Christmas for some areas, I think, is definitely on the table. We'll see. All right, folks, that wraps it up for today. So we'll get the snow is just about winding down and ending. If it hasn't ended already, it will do so shortly, and we'll see our weather conditions improve. Cold into Friday, rain for later Friday night through much of Saturday, and then lingering clouds, maybe a lingering shower early Sunday before weather conditions improve. Dry on Monday, and then maybe a shot for snow or rain come Monday night and next Tuesday. We'll have our regular YouTube live stream tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and of course, Patreon subscription members get their weather posts throughout the day. And don't forget to download my free weather app, the Meteorologist Joe Chaffee weather app on Google Play or on the App Store, or Angry Ben's weather app, which is free on Google Play, the Angry Weatherman. Have a great day, everybody.